Hello and welcome! This is Mercenary and we're back with some more BattleTech. In the last video we did our first contract mission, now it's time to take another one. So before I do that, I'd like to talk to Darius and kind of go through some more of his conversation things. So we don't need to know anything more about our debt situation, I don't believe. I'm just going to double check. Yeah, we talked about him with everything there. So let's see if there is anything we can talk to him about running the company. As that's the only thing that I don't think we finished out. There was a number of tutorials, so let's go over finances. Where I think we went over all the information about contracts. Let's just double check that. Yeah, we did everything with that. So I'd like to ask about something else. And okay, so tell me about how our outfit's finances work. It's pretty simple, really. Every 30 days, we have to pay the crew and cover our regular operating expenses. Upkeep from the mechs we have ready in our mech bays, upgrades to our equipment, things like that. So if we don't have enough C-bills to cover our operating costs at the end of the month, when our financial report comes due, we're out of business. Work life doesn't really allow for second chances. Remember that when you're ordering weapon refits and ship upgrades, and make sure to reserve enough to cover our monthly nut, which is why I haven't been spending much money at the moment. Okay, how can I raise the operating costs of our company? I'm gonna guess by getting more things. Obviously, the more mech warriors we hire, the more we've got to pay out each month. Nevertheless, it's a good idea to have a strong bench. You never know when someone's gonna take one in the meat and be out of action for a while. Okay, we haven't seen that yet, but I'm gonna assume that is something that can happen. How can I lower our operating costs? Probably the reverse. Well, for starters, consider putting the mechs you don't plan to field for a while into storage. We kind of already saw that mechanic at the end of the last video. Although it will require time and C-bills to refit their equipment and ready them for combat, stored mechs have no upkeep costs. By the way, remember that you can sell mech chassis and equipment if we're ever low on cash or you see something shiny in a store that you just gotta have. Okay? Well, that was nice and simple. Well, let's ask him about some other things. Let's talk about my mech warriors. Sure, what do you want to know? How much do I need to worry about the morale? This is actually something I need to know about. Mercenaries aren't like members of the Royal Guard, Mouse Gunner. They're in it for the paycheck, not for loyalty to some noble house. Because of this, keeping their spirits up is important. Mech warriors with high morale get inspired more often on the battlefield, their heads are in the game, and inspired mech warriors can create opportunities. I've seen inspired mech warriors make precision strikes I thought were impossible, focusing their fire at location or on a speeding enemy as if it were standing still at a shooting range, 25 yards away while wearing a sign that said "Shoot me" in neon green. Inspired mech warriors show amazing vigilance too. They seem to have an uncanny ability to blunt incoming damage and have heightened reflexes, so they act faster on the battlefield. Amazing stuff. That's that one ability that I haven't used much, but I could see some circumstances where it would be pretty useful. On the other hand, I've seen mechs with low morale up and leave an outfit like ours without warnings. Sometimes you'll see it coming, sometimes you won't. So yeah, you need to worry about their morale, Mouse Gunner. You're the boss. Hey, what sort of control do I have over their training? Well, so far it seems absolute. Mech warriors gain experience in every mission they complete. You can chart their training and guide their development in 4 skills: gunnery, piloting, guts, and tactics. As they become stronger in a particular skill, your mech warriors gain access to special abilities that can be used in combat. The first ability is the mech warrior specialization. Mech warriors can have only 2 specializations total, so pay attention when you're training them. Okay, see, I didn't know that, and that's good to know. The first 2 they acquire are the only 2 they'll have. The second ability is the mech warrior's expertise. Mech warriors get only 1 of those, and it has to be one of their specializations. Whichever expertise they learn first is the only one they'll have. Second ability is mech warrior's expertise. Mech warriors get only 1 of those. Okay. So 3 abilities total per mech. That's a lot of possible combinations. You'll need to decide for yourself which abilities work best together according to your command style. See, I didn't know that. I'm glad I asked. Okay, do more experienced mech warriors require higher salaries? Of course. Wouldn't you? As mech warriors grow in skills and abilities, their salaries will grow with them. Okay. Well, I'm glad I asked that because I did not know anything about that. Okay, is there any general info you'd like to share? This will be the last of the tutorials from him. This happens on things happen on Mercenary Ship Mouse all the time. You throw a bunch of mech jockeys in a confined space with technicians and crew for months on end. You're going to see some spillover from the battlefield. And operating a merc outfit isn't a glamorous lifestyle. There are hard choices to be made on a regular basis. Anything from breaking up a fight over petty bullshit to dealing with faulty power couplings. Still, I wouldn't trade this for just about anything. We go where we want, we fight who we want, and we only... Oh yeah, and we have only one god we obey, the Mighty Seabill. Well, and you, I guess. Yeah, it's a merc life for me, Mouse Gunner, all the way to the end. Okay, well, that's it for that. Guess got a few minutes to chat. I'd like to catch up. Yeah, sure. I've got time to talk. You know what? We can learn more about him in a little later. But we'll do that for sure. All right, so we got all his tutorials out of the way. There are some more tutorials I'd like to see. For example, I haven't talked to Samaya at all. That's probably going to tell us about the star map. But it's time to take a contract, so let's go ahead and see about that. So I prefer not to travel, because if we look at our timeline, 16 days, and that's our financial report. We have to pay our monthly expenses. So, with that in mind, the first contract is a 17-day travel. So that would not be ideal. This one doesn't seem like it has a travel. Let me just double check. Polar. Does it say where it is? I really wish it would say. I mean, this one says that it covers the expenses. I'm not sure it says what planet it's on. Unless I'm missing that. Okay. Oh, okay, so this is the planet. Does it always say what the planet is? On Detroit. Okay, good. All right. It doesn't say anywhere else other than in the description. Okay, that's fine. But we're already on this planet, so I don't want to travel, so this would be the best one for us. So our intelligence confirms a lance of Canopian military units is engaged in maneuvers on the Bellerophon within a region we control. This is an aggressive action, and a local government operations are at risk as long as this lance is allowed to move unimpeded. Hunt down the enemy lance and eliminate it. This is a straightforward battle, Commander. Finding a military lance in the backwater like this should not be a challenge. All right, we're going to negotiate with this one. This is not a bad pay either. I mean, this one's better, but we have the travel and all that. So let's negotiate. Now, we don't get a rep bonus, and I'm guessing it's because this is kind of a neutral party. So it's really just up to me what I want to do. Now, we've seen what my expenses are, and we only got 100,000 last time. So I may want to go more cash than salvage on this one. We've heard you're a competent mercenary. We've been having some trouble lately, and if you could resolve it for us, we will ensure you're paid well. If not, so be it. Okay, so I think we take a little bit more pay or a little less salvage in this regard, and that way we'd actually be able to pay our monthly expense because, as I said, we only got 100,000 in that last mission, a little over that, and we have 230,000 in expenses unless that's changed. So I'm going to go with this. I'm not ready to deploy, though, so back out. Oh, okay, because I guess the way that works is you can't... If you're already at the system, you have to deploy. All right, well, let's do some other things first. Let's go to our mech warriors. So I have 800 experience. It's not enough to do anything with. This guy has 900 experience. We could do something with that. So from what we learned, somebody can only have 3 abilities. So, you know, after you go down the track, it's more or less the first couple you choose is going to be it, and then you get one of these. That sounded like what the story was. So with that in mind, I have to be careful of what I choose for the next ability for this guy. I probably want to eventually get Juggernaut for this guy, because, you know, I think he's going to be our punchy guy, and if we want him to be a punchy guy, well, we want him to do this. So if I were to go down any track, I think the next one I'm going to do is Guts. So let's go ahead and give him a point there. And this kind of like helps him close the distance in my mind. You know, he gets some more evasion charges for moving. So we'll confirm. Alternatively, we could use Behemoth as our punchy person. But, you know, it doesn't hurt to have more than one that's set up that way. So, you know what? That's fine. Confirm.
Training complete.
Okay. And I don't, as I said, I don't have enough. She doesn't have enough.
Receiving you.
Decker doesn't have enough, as far as I can tell. So that's going to be that. All right, let's go ahead and do the contract negotiation. We don't have to travel anywhere, so I don't think we need the navigation tutorial. So contract. We'll take this one because it's on the system we're already at. Negotiate, as I said. Oh, I wanted to check before I do that. Finances. We have upgraded, I think, at least one of our. So yeah, it's slightly more now. We're looking at 245,000 a month. I think if I take that 144, we'll just pay that off though. So I'm kind of curious how long we have to go with this huge bank loan interest thing though. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and take this contract on the list. So negotiate. As I said, I'm going to take a little bit less cash here, and we'll accept. Okay, so we have to deploy now. It remembered my last deployment, which honestly I'm fine with. Unless I want to swap out one of my pilots. So if I want to get Behemoth a little bit more experience here, that would be maybe a right call. At the moment, Medusa is, you know, in the slot, and in my opinion would be the better pilot perhaps if we're going to play that kind of style. We're on a polar now, so honestly her higher guts doesn't really matter to me too much. Yeah, okay, I'll just go with this one. That's fine. All right, we're loaded in and we're ready to go. Again, we have our little summary of what's going to happen here. But we just have to destroy another lance.
Command interface.
Now, I do need to check out the store when I get an opportunity. We got them, Commander, right out in the open. So this is more or less a repeat of what we've already done. These guys are amateurs. Get eyes on them and take them out. Good hunting, Commander. Oliviera, out. Okay.
Think we'll see bears?
So because we are in a polar biome, we have higher heat efficiency, which is good. All right, let's... Okay, so we've got these heights up here. Ooh, what is this? Rough terrain. Rough terrain reduces movement speed and causes units to take 50% stability damage from all attacks. Plus 4 difficulty to hit units within rough terrain with melee attacks. Okay, so it gives you a little bit of protection against melee attacks, but then it makes you fall down more easily. I guess I'll go up. I should get a little bit of flank going on, so I'll move over this way. I don't want to give him my back, though, so let's move like that.
Aye, aye.
Okay. The Blackjack, I will move up this way. The Shadowhawk, I'll move straight down the road. And the Vindicator, I'll have come with the Blackjack, so we can get our support kind of up on this ridge. Okay. We can move up to here if we want to. That's kind of an aggressive move. We'll go with it, though.
Confirmed. We've got an unknown on sensors.
Okay. There's our 2 contacts. We don't have enough info on them to know anything about them. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and sprint up here. See if we can get up on that ridge to get some fire going. And, you know, I'll get this guy going in the middle.
Move order received.
Shadowhawk should have good armor, and also the number of evasion charges we're getting should be pretty good as well.
Oh, it's on now.
Alright, they should be able to fire against my spider, I would imagine. Yeah, Locust 1M, so that's similar to something we have faced in the past. Okay, missed, but that's going to reduce my evasion. This could be a commando. Now, fortunately, I get to move. So,
Waiting for
I
order.
don't want them to be able to hit me again. I can jump out of contact. In behind this rock, I think we'll do it. And then we would have, I think, both of them in sensor range, but I think the one I'm going to focus on is that Locust. We should be in cover there. Sensor lock here.
I've got a sensor lock.
Okay, so we don't have vision on that one. I don't know if it's commando, but it might be the same layout as we've seen.
I hear ya.
Now, I move here. That looks like indirect. This looks like direct. We obviously want direct because that is going to be better for us.
Coordinates
We should-
received.
We don't have line of sight of this guy yet. And that's probably just because the range is far enough. And would it be worth doing the precision strike now? Probably, because this is going to be the hardest hitting that I could probably do this turn, and it would also burn through the kind of the evasion. And we'll go for a center torso hit. I may be able to kill this guy. If I get a PPC hit on that center torso. Ah, that missed. All right. It was worth a chance, though. So I need to move to a spot I can see. And that's going to be there. I don't have any indirect fire opportunities. That's the one thing that's kind of a problem with the lance that I have at the moment, is I don't have any opportunities to fire indirectly. Go ahead and open up on this guy.
Engaging target.
Okay, we managed to knock one of its legs out. So its initiative should be really bad next turn. Okay. Now the Shadowhawk needs to make its decision. We be super aggressive here and just move as far forward as we can. I mean, that we get a lot of evasion charges if I do that. I don't think that's necessarily a bad call. We could finish off the Locust as well. It's on the ground and a sitting duck. Or we could go after the... Yeah, it is a commando. I think we finish the Locust. That makes the most sense. We go after the center torso, or do we go after the leg? I think we go after the center torso. Just make sure we get a kill here. I am going to turn off the alarm 5, though, because that's not likely going to hit. Okay, there we go.
Gotcha.
Well, I guess this gives us an opportunity to get more parts. And we'll see if that's indeed how that works. And so this guy's going to move, and he's going to fire at us. And miss a lot, because we had a lot of evasion up. He probably doesn't have the highest skill, I would imagine. So at this token, I don't think sensor locking him is really going to, you know, be the best solution. We can jump. At this moment, see if I can see his back angle a little bit more precisely. I mean, we are in an Arctic climb, so jumping around isn't going to be too much of a problem. Okay. And we'll open up on this guy. And miss a lot. All right, we tried.
Damn it.
Okay, I'm gonna use Medusa here, and we're gonna punch this mech. I want to move in a spot where I'm not in the way of my other guys, so I'm gonna move like this. 90% chance to hit. That's pretty good. We don't have the best camera angle for this, but
Targeting for a physical attack. Hell yes.
okay, we knocked this guy around a little bit. We already have a firing line here, so I'll go ahead and open up here. This should be enough. That's a lot of firepower. We're slinging a light mechs away. Okay, a milk run, just as expected. Good work, Commander.
Mission successful.
Alright. That one wasn't too bad. And we get the mission report. Well done, Commander. We obviously placed our faith in the right mercenary company. We'll let you know if we have any work for you. Okay, so we're now up to 25. And we may have lost rep with the Canopians, so that kind of sucks, but oh well. And we get our pay. That's good. And nobody got really damaged, so that's good as well. Alright, now salvage time. So, yeah, we have one of 3. So, again, I would like the mechs, so I'm going to prioritize. We only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to salvage. So, I'm going to go ahead and prioritize the commando, because I like one of those. And we'll see what the other 3 things we're going to get are. So, we got the other part of the Locust. We miss out on another M5, which I guess is not so great, but hey, we get another medium laser. You can always do with more medium lasers. Let's go ahead and continue. Okay, contact the Rimward Frontier. All right, everybody, gather around. After our last talk, I bit the bullet and started fishing around for uncertified contracts. And I repeat, might have caught us something. Who's the client? Unknown. She didn't ID herself on the message, but she claims to be a member of the Canopian elite. She says that she's got a big job lined up, and she wants us for it. Us specifically. She called the commander out by name. Okay. Well, how could she know about us? Yeah, I'm going to ask about this here. Good question, and I'm betting we don't have an answer. You're certain this client isn't really a bounty hunter? Because I can list off about 5 different banks that'd all love to repossess his ship. Shopping for uncertified contracts behind the review board's back, Yang. Hell no, I'm not certain. For what it's worth, I can confirm that she's rich. She reached out to us with a priority HPG message, and those things aren't cheap. Okay. All right. Yeah. We'll meet with the new mystery client, but that's all we'll do until we've heard her pitch. That's fair, Commander. We need to follow up on this, but that doesn't mean we can't be cautious. A meeting is just a meeting. What's the worst that could happen? Our new client runs us out the airlock, and our corpses spend the rest of forever tumbling through the icy vastness of space. Thanks for that delightful image, Yang. Look, Mouse, I'll admit, this is sketchy as hell, but it's also the best lead we're likely to find. Going to follow up, plot a course to, well, we're already there. The client will be waiting. Contract to meet with our Canopian mystery client is ready for review in the command center. Take a look when you're ready, Commander. Our mech warriors have picked up a fair amount of combat experience over these last few drops. Head to the barracks to review their dossiers and direct their training. We've already kind of done that, but that's okay. Don't forget, you can check on the state of our finances from the terminal in your captain's quarters. If you ever want to change our mercenary company's name or symbol, you can do that from there, too. Alright, so let's start, though, with some more tutorials. I want to get through the rest of these tutorials before we go on to the next story mission. So let's go through the ones with Yang. We've already done Darius, so let's go through him. We've done at least one of his. Let's go with this one. Okay. I already asked about this one, but let's see about the mech bays themselves. Beyond each cubicle holding one battle mech, not much. It's all about capacity. The more mech bays we have, the more mechs we can keep battle ready. And the more mechs we have battle ready, the more flexibility you have in your deployment options. Let's say we had 2 blackjacks, for example. A decent medium mech for sure. I know your family gave you yours. One could be loaded out with lots of energy weapons for use in colder environments where they can bleed heat quickly. The other, identical blackjack, could be loaded out with ballistic weapons that require ammo but generate much less heat. Smart for deploying in warmer climates or in vacuum where heat dissipation is slower. Okay, been wondering about the components you can put on your mechs. One of my favorite topics in the mech bay. You can browse all the equipment we have available in inventory. There are 2 types of components I can install on your battle mech: weapons and equipment. Okay, well, I think I already know all this stuff, so I'm not going to do any of this, but, you know, this is for people that are, I guess, are newer to BattleTech. I will ask about this, because this is interesting. True. Different manufacturers tweak their weapons to deliver more damage, have higher accuracy, destabilize the enemy, a bunch of stuff. Okay, so, alright. I didn't know that. The trick is finding them. They're rare out there in the periphery, so when I see one in a store or a salvage pile, I will always mark it with a plus for you so you can identify it easily. Okay, good. Well, that's good to know. I don't think we need to ask anything else here. How to repair mech damage after a battle. Well, we've already done that, but let's just see what he has to say. Whenever you return from a mission, stop by the mech bay here to tell me which mechs you want to have repaired. I'm not going to assume anything. You run this outfit, so you tell me what to spend time and money on. Okay, that's not completely true. If I see armor missing from a battle mech, I'm going to repair it automatically. It's standard operating procedure, and we have so much scrap armor lying around that you should consider armor repairs to be free. Now, if you tell me to repair a mech containing destroyed equipment, the techs will strip that off automatically too. I'll list the equipment they strip, but you're going to have to replace it with something. Okay, good to know. I mean, this I already know. It's going to take time to do and money. You seem to know your way around a battlefield, Yang. Any advice? We'll go with this one. Sure, the better you lead in combat, the less work I have to do when it's over. Okay, so again, I kind of already know a lot of this stuff. So, yeah, I'm not going to go over some of the things that I already have a pretty good understanding of. So, yeah, that's enough for now. Like, for example, some of these tutorials, I've found out information I had no idea about. Like, for example, the different weapons having different attributes. I didn't know about that. So that's it for him as far as tutorials. Let's go to the navigation and see if we've got anything there.
Yes, Commander?
Got some questions about navigation. Then from here on out, we can just focus on the story stuff, I think. This part I don't know anything about, so this is probably pretty important. Sure, ask away. I mean, it's kind of important that you understand what you're doing, so if I can help with that, I'm all for it. All right, let's do this one. Okay, Navigator, how do we get from system to system? Short answer is that you pick a destination on the star map, and I make it happen. Interstellar travel takes time, sometimes weeks, and it'll cost us sea bills for fuel and passage on a jump ship. That's the only way for an outfit like ours to survive out here. We go where the work is. Okay, I want to tell, can I get about a system before I choosing to go there? I mean, we kind of have already seen this. Enough to make a reasonable informed choice. I think the star map makes political boundaries clear, so you'll know whose space we're entering. Program the star map to lock out travel to systems designated as no-fly zones, We're looking for work, not an interstellar accident. Okay. Beyond political boundaries, the nav system will highlight political factions active in the system that should give you an idea of who's hiring. It's probably a good idea to check out reputation with the local factions before ordering a long voyage. Okay. Yeah. We'll ask about this. There is, and as you select systems on the star map, you'll see a list of attributes to the MERCnet database associates with them. Attributes like black market or poor are clues to local store contents. The type of mercs you'll find in hiring halls, contracts we may be offered, and potential mission environments. If you hover over an attribute, the star map will display a longer description for you. Okay. Beyond the political factions and attributes of a system, perhaps the most important to watch for is the difficulty rating of the merc contracts we'll find there. The MRB maintains a standardized rating system, so folks like us who are trolling MERCnet for jobs can weigh the risk before accepting the contract. All right, so some of this stuff I've already kind of seen, and I understand what she's talking about. I don't know if there was more. Oops. Yeah. All right. I think we'll pick up some of this other stuff later. I think we'll wrap up the episode here. But I think it was fortunate that so far we've had a lot of our contracts in the same location. So
Good day, Commander.
I think we'll pick up in the next video, taking this story mission, figuring out what we have going on with that, and we'll kind of do her tutorials as needed. At the moment, we haven't really needed her tutorials too much because we've been staying in the same system this whole time. We just had that one bit of travel we did, which was more or less scripted. So, all right, well, in any case, I hope you guys have enjoyed the video. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.